Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What do we have here? Well, we have about 10 topics for this video. They are related to global events, obviously, not BS. What do we have first? Another major drone attack on Ukraine launched by the Russians. The Russians occupied another town in Ukraine. It's like a daily occurrence nowadays. I will show you maps where that is located. Now we have a baboon, and his name is John Kirby. And John Kirby is the, Pentagon, White House speech, some guy that makes more money than us together, probably, and we pay. And he's telling us why BRICS poses no threat to the US and its allies. And I will show you why it poses a big threat. So either the guy lives in a delusional world, which I doubt, or just bullshitting you and I. But anyway, so I have about 3 articles coming from the other side to explain a little bit what's going on with China, China, India, Brazil, Russia, many other countries, Iran and Saudi Arabia, Turkey, another country that you can ignore from this planet right here. But nevertheless, Kirby says, no man, it doesn't pose any threat to us. Go continue to consume, watch TV, get your boosters, and don't fucking talk. Keep your mouth shut and go and vote. Yeah, go and vote. That's the most important one, because we're going to count the votes. So then we find out that Russia faces a demographic disaster. And that is, they don't have 2.1 fertility rate. That is, 2 parents to have 2.1 in order to have, a growth in population. And Russia doesn't. And my point is going to be, you don't have to have a 2.1 for a while, as long as, and I'm going to tell you my point of view on that one. And I'm going to tell you why they tell you it's a disaster. And the same bullshit they fed us in the Western world only because we have a 1.2, not 2.1. And I'm going to show you how we can solve this problem. Very easy, very easy. Next one. If you think that the North Koreans sent their troops into Russia to fight in Ukraine, then, man, you're not on the right side of history. Well, they confirm the Pentagon, that you can trust, right? That the North Koreans were sent to Russia just because they need to fight in Ukraine. And they're not going to give us what, I was about Xi Jinping to say, Kim Jong-un, the woodchuck, what he received in return from evil Putin for receiving those guys to go and fight for Mother Russia. Man, these guys really, I don't think they're baboons. Some of them are, some of them, pretend, but they definitely think that we are. And most of them are, that's true. Not you and I, obviously, right? All right, so we're going to find out confirmations from the most reliable sources that the North Korean troops in Russia right now training, they will be definitely sent to the front to fight the Ukrainians. Do you know who that reliable source is? One that lied to you many times before. But hey, trust it at your risk. And we're going to have the Russian response to these statements. Then the other article we have John Kelly. You know John Kelly? John Kelly used to be the chief of staff of the White House, appointed by Trump. Now he comes and tells us about who his boss is, Trump was. Remember, he worked for him. He was appointed by Trump. And this John Kelly says that, like Mark Milley, that screw-up general of the U.S. forces, Trump is just meets the definition of a... Can you believe that? I think that these guys don't know what that was. But nevertheless, we're going to discuss that one. Look at this. UK completes training of 200 Ukrainian pilots for F-16 combat missions. And you have a picture with them over there. My assessment on that, there is no Ukrainian pilot on any F-16 fighting in Ukraine. That's my assessment. But, or let's say my gut feeling, okay? My opinion as a free person. And we find out that the British Prime Minister tries to change this Ukraine thing in a global strife between the good, which is us or whomever we designate as good, and the evil Russians. And he says that Putin creates instability, global instability. Therefore, The resultant is we have to stop him. Who's we? Every decent, good human being. Why? Because he thinks he talks to baboons, and he talks to baboons, as I said, most of them. So let's start with the beginning. Here it is, Ukraine form. FFU shot down 57 Russian drones overnight, 15 lost in area. On the night of October 23rd, the Ukrainian Defense Forces shot down 57 Russian attack drones. Here is the evidence. If you have any doubts, don't forget the last one right there. So this is the evidence. You got it right. It says here that the enemy attacked Ukraine with 81 Shahed-type attack UAVs and unidentified drones from the directions of Primorsko-Akhtarsk and Kursk. The enemy also attacked Odessa region with an N-1 KH-31P guided missile from the Black Sea. So Primorsko-Akhtarsk, I showed you many times, it is located, why don't we look over it? And across from the Azov Sea, and it's right here where my beautiful hand is, Primorsko-Akhtarsk. Here is one location where they usually launch drones. The other one is right here by Cape Shauda, and they said from Kursk here. So this is where the evil Russians launched their shit. All right, and the other one, Odessa region with the KH. Odessa, you know where Odessa is? Okay, Odessa is here by the Black Sea, by Romania, and by, if you want, Crimean Peninsula, right here. This is Odessa. Next, let's see, maybe they tell us what they hit. All right, this is what they attacked. They were confirmed down over Odessa, Mykolaiv, Vinnytsia, Sumy, Cherkasy, Khmelnytsky, Ternopil, Kirovohrad, Kiev, Poltava, Chernihiv, and Kharkiv regions. So again, they didn't attack the Polish side of Ukraine that the Poles will get. Don't worry, guys, you're going to get it. I know you don't want it, but I'm going to give it to you. So they attacked all this right here. Not Lutsk, Lvov, Ivano-Frankovsk, Uzhgorod, or this kind of... That's it. That's all they attacked in this area. All right. Next article. According to New Voice of Ukraine, which are the Ukrainians right there, Novosadove, occupied by Russian forces, monitoring group says. So that was, I'm going to show you the map. Here it is. And this is by Kremina, which is next door. This is Kremina here, just so you know where things are. And it's on the border with Kharkiv, Luhansk, and Donetsk right here. This is where this place is located. And you have here Kharkiv, Donetsk. The cat one's outside and fucks my head right now. So, there you go. Here it is, right here. This is the location where the Russians claim, or not the Russians, the Ukrainians claim the information coming from the deep state, I think. Here is the location they are attacking. They took this settlement. This is here, Kharkiv, Kharkov. Here is Donetsk. This is Luhansk. In the big scheme of things, they are advancing. All this, they are advancing right here. And here on the bottom, on the delta, the Russians claim they occupied all the islands over there. All right, let's see. Russian forces seized the village of Novosadove in Ukraine's Donetsk Oblast. The Deep State Monitoring Group reported on Telegram on October 23rd, today. According to updated maps of the front lines, the enemy also advanced near the settlements of Bohoyavlenka, Zoriane, Selidove, and Novodimitrivka in Donetsk Oblast, as well as in the village of Kruhlyakivka and in Kharkiv Oblast. So this is what they show us. I can't tell you what those are, but believe me, that's where I showed you. Next one. If you don't believe me, check it out. Verify. John Kirby, this imbecile, on the why, this is from the New Voice of Ukraine, on the why BRICS poses no real threat to the US and its allies. Well, we're going to look over that because I want to see why. I want to see why. Okay, let's see his arguments. And this is what he says. And, we don't view the BRICS arrangement as some sort of, threat. Okay, what's your argument? These countries can decide for themselves who they want to associate with and especially how they want to be economically linked with one another. That's bullshit. Ask Venezuela, ask Cuba, ask many other countries, ask Ukraine before the 2014 how they wanted to align economic with other countries and we intervened. That's bullshit. I can go on and on and on. This is for baboons, my friends. Who believes this is a baboon right there. Kirby also remarked the Russian dictator, he was not elected, but he's a dictator, right? Vladimir Putin is being forced to take drastic measures to prop up his currency and sustain his war economy. No, he's going to destroy our dollar, you idiot. And we gonna collapse. Or at least we're gonna have about 1/3 of our economy drop. 1/3, according to some experts. He attributed this to Russia's growing isolation. He's isolated, but he has BRICS summit. I mean, this guy is just, he's isolated. I made a video yesterday and the day before. How many countries, how many leaders are over there right now? Some of the most important leaders on this planet are right now in Kazan, Russia. From the countries they want to join are about 30. Right now there's about 12 that are in BRICS. That's about 30 more that applied and want to be in BRICS. How many you got? In NATO and in European Union, your vassal states account to about 35. That's all you got, 35. The European Union, Australia, Japan, South Korea, and Palau, New Zealand, and Paraguay maybe, and maybe Argentina. And then the European baboons. That's all you got. And Canada, it goes without saying because it's in a leash. Right there. Not even Mexico is on your side. What are you talking about? So we can go to 45 countries. Those guys are almost over there. And they will screw your dollar. And they have resources. And they have almost half of the global population. They already surpassed your G7 economies. As an output, like 34 versus 29. But they pose no threat. You'll see. He can't say we're in a bad shape. You know why? Because the guilty ones need to put a mirror in front of them, like Kirby and others. He's not a policy maker, but the guys he works for. He can say, well, this guy screwed up a long time ago. Why? We were interested in this, and the whole world is over there. So let's see, maybe this guy's going to tell us why. His reason was because these guys are just free to choose, which is a lie, obviously. He says, they say here, among them Chinese Xi Jinping, Indian Narendra Modi, even the UN General Secretary Antonio Guterres is over there. Erdogan is over there. Ramaphosa is over there. What these guys are talking about. Anyway, let's move to the next one. Now let's see why these things are dangerous. BRICS. I'm just giving you a few titles here from Sputnik. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro arrives in Kazan for BRICS 2024 summit. That means if Venezuela falls to the Russians entirely, you got what? I think Venezuela was assessed to have the biggest oil reserves in the world at this point. Biggest in the world. How the fuck are you gonna have electricity and other things? How are you gonna have an industry? With the wind and you're gonna fart all the time? What, with the sun? Right now, there's no sun. What are we doing? Interrupt this video because I don't have any electricity? Please, my friends. You can't, that's my assessment. You will not be able to sustain a lifestyle that we have right here with the proposed windmills and with solar panels. It's not only me. Go and check it out. We're gonna go back to caves. I made a video on this one when I was on Sleeping Bear Dunes, maybe last week. Go and check it out. They want us in cave, but hey, the world will be clean. We will be in the caves. They will not be in the caves. No, they will have everything to have everything running because they have money. We won't. Why? Well, you need to do certain things in order to have a clean life. Anyway, let's go here. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, invites Putin to visit India in 2025, and Putin is isolated. India has $1.5 billion, I was about to say, people, nuclear weapons, big country, important country. What are you talking about? Next one. Philippines, looking at BRICS, made no decision on membership yet. Pesco, Brazil, she met Putin, obviously Xi Jinping. Natural gas export, of course, between these guys. Joint approach of BRICS to Ukraine agreed on its final declaration. Joint approach of BRICS. The common approach of the BRICS countries to the situation in Ukraine, which will be reflected in the final declaration of the summit in Kazan, has been agreed and does not raise any objections. Kremlin aide said the wording has already been agreed. It does not raise any objections. Do you think they will? Do you think that they will condemn Russia? Do you think they will condemn Russia in Kazan? Russia? No. So that means that's the second alliance, but poses no threat. Kirby is an imbecile, I told you. And a weasel. All right. Brazil regrets that new Argentinian government decided not to join BRICS. Remember, they were invited, they were accepted, and then the pimp Milei said no because my sponsors said no, and they didn't. Right, in December, Argentina President Javier Milei has officially declined the invitation for his country to become a member of BRICS in letters to Russian president. Well, that's what it is, my friends. So, Russian businesses asked to support use of Chinese equivalent of SWIFT in BRICS. There you go. They will create their own banking system. They will do it. They will not only banking system, the communication, the transfers, the wire transfer. She says China-Russia relations not directed against their countries. Yeah. I don't think so. Right there. She calls BRICS system forming factor in foundation formation of multipolarity. What are you talking about, Baboon Kirby? Where the fuck are you? What are you talking about? I want to go to the one where they say about underline the differences. Belarus will become a member. Brazil, Russia. So my friends, I can go on and on. South African, but they pose no threat. No threat whatsoever. I want to go to right here. Turkey seeks to expand ties with BRICS. Sri Lanka, Kyrgyzstan. All right, so let's go on the next one right here. This is updates. Again, the same thing with who's who, what's what, and BRICS Declaration of Strength and Interaction of Association Member. This is the declaration that will be adopted, will be an important step to strengthen our cooperation, establish a universally recognized framework to counter further challenges, future challenges, and achieve our common goals. Right here. They want to continue forming a more democratic world system, Putin said, without the US and his club. Why? Because that's the way it is, my friends. Iranian president, let me just don't get your eyes going. Dollar being used as weapon. This dominates confidence in currency. So they're going to attack that. BRICS states should act as defenders of common security. Chinese president, BRICS states. But the other guy said no. Okay, I made my point. I think it's good enough. I can go to even to the Yahoo shit right there, and we have all this what they want to achieve in the title, by the Telegraph, by the Business Insider, by Reuters, by New York Times. They tell you. So that guy is a liar. He's a baboon. He is doing his job. Russia's economy faces demographic disaster and risks seeing its population reduced by half by the end of this century. Think tank says. Why do you think they say that? They want Russia, the European Russia, to import other people from other parts of the world. Like, that's how they babooned the Americans and the Europeans mostly, that you're not going to have someone to pay for your Social Security, for your retirement, therefore we have to get workers from different areas, and they can, and then you can have more children. This is my alternative to that. I don't want garbage quantity. How about a beautiful qualitative minority? I don't want quality. So let's say from 140 million people, let's say we have 100 million people. But those are quality people, not garbage. Instead of having 200 million people with garbage, we have 100 million people with fantastic. And the economy will improve. Why? Because scientifically we're going to make things be efficient, more efficient. So that means you're going to use less energy. That's a good thing, right? We're going to be more effective because we're going to have computers and AI and others to work for us, and we jerk off all day. So we don't have to actually import anything. We don't have to import anything. From 10 and you got 4 idiots instead of having 6 perfect. Fantastic, guys. How about that? That's my philosophy. I disagree with, we need to because we can't pay. Yeah, you can. You're going to get loans until the cows come home or something. And not only that, these guys can print money how much they want and don't have to import anybody. But the problem is that they say, the economy is unsustainable because we don't have labor force. Who did not provide the right business environment, economic environment in the country that now you don't have it? You, not you. You. So because you didn't create that environment, Now you say I need to fuck myself? No, thank you very much. You stay there. Next one. This is the confirmation right here. New Voice of Ukraine. United States confirms North Korean troops are in Russia, and this is rather the intent. That they already know the intent to support Ukraine war effort. Now, Pentagon, this guy, right? This guy right here. Here, U.S. confirms North Korean troops in Russia amid fears they'll be sent to fight in Ukraine. Because United States of America or Pentagon never lied. Never lied. And how did you exactly, how can I verify that your information is correct? Huh? How? How can I verify? Right? Confirms. And we have again, this guy's Pentagon chief confirms. How can I verify that's true? You can't. And you will not. That's the whole point. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I don't, from the default, I don't trust this guy and I don't believe this institution whatsoever. Remember, these guys lied, the Pentagon lied that United States of America's Navy ships were attacked in the Gulf of Tonkin in Vietnam. Remember? There was a lie. And that was the reason why these baboons, the Pentagon, told, it was what? McNamara, I think it was the... how do you call it, Admiral? He told the president came out and we were attacked, and the mass media did its job telling the baboons we were attacked on the high seas and we went to war. And we engaged into Vietnam legally. We were engaged before illegally, and then illegally we started bombing Laos and what's the other one? Cambodia, next to Vietnam. And the mass media knew and shut the fuck up. And when they want to say something, the White House called them and say, hold it, we're going to come and say it, and then you can say it. What the fuck is this? Free media? Free press? And we were bombing Cambodia and the other one, Laos, just like this. So when I hear Pentagon, bring the evidence. I will not provide you the evidence. You know why? Confidential information, still under review, and we don't want to expose our brave men and women over there in harm's way. We don't want to put them in harm's way. And then, if you disagree with that, you're a bad person. That's what they do in commissions where they're invited to testify in front of a commission. It's a mock trial. It's a kangaroo, trial, a court over there. When in front of senators, they play ball and they say, "Yeah, your mom is a whore. How do you know that? I have the evidence." Well, can you provide us the evidence? No, confidential. That means I can say whatever I want about each and everything, and I don't have to provide you and anybody else with any evidence to support my claims. Like you see the mass media, an unnamed source. Familiar with the matter. I can make this up. Hey, guy, meow meow, like my cat. Huh? You can use that as my source. My sources said that's not true. North Korean troops are not over there to fight in Ukraine. I have an unnamed source familiar with the issue in the Russian, North Korean, and Australian government, and Zimbabwean, obviously. How can you verify that? You're going to ask me to provide my sources? Confidentiality. Anyway. No, I cannot hide. So wake up about that one. And let's see what the Russians are saying about this. Russia Today. Pentagon believes North Korean troops are in Russia. Pyongyang has previously rejected the accusation, while the Kremlin called reports on the matter contradictory. And I said, don't worry, this guy is going to show up and tell you, he's going to confirm what the Ukrainians and South Koreans were said. Why? The whole game is this. Oh, we don't want to fight NATO. We don't want to fight the Russians. But look, the Russians now, they make it in a world war. Because there's going to be another country involved in the war in Ukraine. We can't let this happen. We're going to protect you, okay? So we're going to have to intervene. So you got to fight. Why? The North Koreans and the evil Russians are coming over. See, that's the evidence we give you because we say so. That's the whole goal. NATO wants right now a pretext to sell the baboonish population of the free people of the West that those guys are a threat for everyone now. And we have to intervene. We have to stop that. I guarantee you that. Move on. Next one. North Korea, soldiers and weapons sent to Russia in exchange for nuclear tech. So this is why North Koreans are giving the Russians weapons and troops, because they need nuclear tech. For what exactly? Nuclear weapons? Maybe. All right, North Korea has sent its troops and weapons to Russia in exchange for money and technology. Money? I thought Russia is bankrupt. You have to make up your fucking mind. As part of an assistance agreement signed by two dictators in June 2024. Ukrainian intelligence chief. Okay, so for me it's all gone. It's like you have a gang of criminals robbing a bank, and then you catch one of them, and you have the guys from the gang testifying for that guy, and you have to believe them. I mean, you got a witness that is tainted. Or tainted, that's how you say it. I mean, you have no credibility. These guys could be true, but you know what I mean. You have an interest. Let's say in a relationship. It happened many times before in America and everywhere else. But the insurance, the life insurance. You have a wife and a man and a woman married, husband and wife, and you have a boyfriend, and they kill this guy, and then she is the first prime suspect, like US is the prime suspect, I would say, in the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines attack. And then the boyfriend that were, this one is going to come and he's going to be testifying that that's not true. My information was that this. You're not credible from the very beginning. You are not credible, but you are tainted. You are with her. So, but here we are supposed to believe this. What do I think? I think there could be. It's possible to be North Korean troops over there. I doubt that, but it could be. All right. Now let's see how an employee who was appointed, who was given a job, who was appointed for a good job, White House Chief of Staff, he talks about his boss. And Mark Milley said the same thing. He also worked for Trump. And they say the same thing. So must be true, right? If two people tell you you're drunk, then you're going to sleep, right? Former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly says Trump praised Hitler while in office. And he said that he is a fascist, this guy right here. He meets the definition of fascism. Right here. He commended more than once that you know that Hitler did some good things too. Is that a lie? Is that a lie? Let's start with that one. You might not fucking like that. Is that a lie? Did he do anything? Everything? That's how we are conditioned and shamed into believing that these guys did all bad and these guys did all good. Like Martin Luther King, all good. What's his name? Kennedy, all good. What's his name? Mandela, all good. No, that's not true. They did bad stuff as well. The same with this guy. Do you think he said that? Why? Because he knows life. The other one is an ideologue who kisses ass. That's why. He was always appointed. Remember, this guy was elected. This guy was never elected as far as I remember, right there. But anyway, I think he's a general or something. Kelly said and why would you even say that, Kelly? He told the New York Times that Trump meets, and I'm quoting, the general definition of a fascist. I would like to know. Certainly, the former president is the far right in the far right area. No, he's not. I tell you what the far right area is. He's certainly, far right area is what's going on right now in, I don't want to say that. Certainly an authoritarian, who had 4 years to take control and he didn't. Lost. So if Trump would not have been in the office at all, remember what they said before Trump was elected? Put the election to the side. Oh, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, he's gonna suspend the Constitution, he's gonna fire everybody in the Congress, and he's gonna be a dictator together with his girlfriends. That's what. Then he was 4 years, so he proved he wasn't. And now what do you want me to say? When he wasn't a president, they said he's like that. When he was the president, they said they will be like that, and he was not. And now you tell me that meets the definition? And then he's certainly an authoritarian. Yes, I am too. I like things to be done the way I fucking want. So if I have my company, definitely I want you to fucking, Kelly, go over there and do your job, I'm telling you. Yes. But do you think we're going to discuss this, Kelly? No. You are my subordinate. Go to work and tell your boss, you definitely are an authoritarian. All this society is based on authority. What the fuck? A cop stops you. How do you call that? Did he break laws? Did he suspend the Constitution? And that thing in January 6th, look at the definition of insurrection. But this was his employee that he didn't understand. He's not young. He didn't understand that Trump was. Would you agree to work for Hitler? Definitely not. So why did you agree? Why did you work for him? Don't tell me you didn't know because you're not 14. You're like, oh, I don't know shit. No, you're a guy with a man, right? And you still work for the guy. What does that tell you? You're shifty. You're not trustworthy. I don't trust anything you say. You do everything just to promote and push forward up your career. And by the way, you were in the military. That's a fucking authoritarian institution. You tell me, you as a general, you tell a, I don't know, baboon colonel, you do this, and the colonel says, excuse me, sir, you're authoritarian. God damn, I am by definition. By the organization. Anyway, so easy. Next one. Oh, let's see the 200 pilots. UK completes training, according to New Voice of Ukraine, of 200 Ukrainian pilots for F-16 combat missions. I don't think there's any Ukrainian close to an F-16 but cleaning it. That's all I think, let alone pilots. Why? What if these guys take the plane and land it in Russia? As it is. As that Soviet, 1980, some Soviet pilot landed in, it was a MiG-31 or something, MiG-29, something like this, landed it in Japan, defected, just bye-bye, see ya. The Americans came, opened it up, and sent it back to the Soviet Union after they took everything they needed to see. For that reason, Patriot systems are operated by the Ukrainians, Abrams tanks are operated, Leopard 2, Challenger 2, HIMARSes, these things. The top notch of a country will not just be given to some Ukrainians that you don't control. They're not your allies, you just help. No, you don't do that. It's much more, you don't deal with Ukraine, you deal with Russia, China, and future threats. So I don't think any of this. But hey, 200 Ukrainian pilots. You want to look at their faces? Yeah. I think some of them are women. That's why I think these baboons showed us. Definitely this first one is one. Come on, baby doll. You don't want to cooperate? Because I'm a tyrant. Because I was a tyrant, I used this mouse and I fucking made it work for me. I didn't ask, I just did it with my tyrannical. This is a woman 100%. This is, I don't know what this one. This has beard, so I don't know what he identifies as. This is a woman definitely right here. This is a woman. You don't have facial hair. You see this facial hair? That's a man right there. You can see her on the mustache. So that's a woman right here. That's a woman right here. That's a woman right here. Good job. I'm not saying the women are not good at it. Remember, they just crashed a F-35 in Mount Rainier or something in state of Washington. There were two experienced Navy pilots, both of them female. Has nothing to do with that. But it's all coincidence. Remember that ship that sank the New Zealand's, it was New Zealand's ship, military ship that kept size, is that how we say it? The military. I wanted to cover that one. It was a female commander over there. No, do not fucking think about anything here, right? It's just funny to me. So anyway, these guys, poor ladies, women, I don't know if they were ladies, lost their lives in, they went to Iraq and they flew those planes in Iraq. All right, let's go to the last article where we find out that the Brits, you're gonna get in trouble. I'm sorry to say this. Try to make this Ukraine thing to a big thing. Like NATO goes in the whole world against Russia, and then guess who's going to be in charge of Russia? Not the whole world. United States of America. Everybody's going to be like the lion on the savannah. You know, remember the lionesses? How you call them? The pack of female lions. They kill the buffalo, and then who comes over? Red Rover, the lion. Everybody moves to the side, and he eats, and you have the jackals, you have the vultures, you have the whomever around waiting their turn. And when the lion is over with filling his belly, farts around and goes out, and everybody comes and eats whatever remained. So same things with the United States of America. They call everybody to go and kill, in this case, that country that I'm talking about, and then they're going to come and they will say, oh, no, now I'm the one who's going to distribute the crumbs to you. Open your mouth. That's exactly how it's going to be. Right here. I got it even from the UK government. Can you believe that? Prime Minister warns Russian threat to global stability. See, global stability is accelerating. Not only that exists, it's getting worse as Putin ramps up attacks on Black Sea. Why? Because, do you remember the Lusitania, was it? When the Americans said that they will not ship, they are neutral, and they will not ship weapons to Great Britain and to Europe against the Germans. And they did. They put civilians, and underneath in the hull they put weapons. And the U-boat accidentally, not accidentally, they hit it, and they say, oh, that is a declaration of war. That's how we get into war. That's how it happened. But they were doing that. So here, do you think these things are new or something? When these go with grain shipments in the Black Sea to Odessa or Nikolaev or wherever they go over, or the mouth of the Danube River, do you think that ships that go over there are empty to pick up grain? I don't think so. And the Russian says no, they're not. And when these guys show up over there, these guys bomb them and they say, oh, it was a cargo ship. It was a civilian business. It was not a military. And they destroyed it. And the Russian says, no, that's not true. They were unloading this. Now, they all lie. But I don't know when these guys lie and the other ones told the truth anymore. Because I don't have time to verify all this. I'm just telling you from history that it's not something like, wow, really? This is outrageous. The Russians to think that these guys will put weapons in these cargo ships that pick up grain. They're going to come over there in the port and they unload military. No, that's a big lie. No. Well, why don't you fucking read some real history? Okay. So when this guy says that, he's now, the Russians hit 2 vessels that they claim they were unloaded military. Now, I don't know if what the reality. And this guy, see, global stability is a threat to global stability is accelerating. So what do we need? We have to act. The North Koreans are going to go over there. We have to act. You see, we are coming. Now, who started all this shit? I tell you who started. It started in 1991. Exactly, I'm not bullshitting you. 1991, when those guys told the Soviets, you agree with the unification of Germany, we are not going to move our NATO towards you, eastward, 1 inch. I said, okay, gentleman agreement, thank you very much. And they did. That's what it started. And then the biggest thing was that the Russians smacked was 2008 Georgia. That was another Ukraine. And then it was obviously Ukraine, the coup d'etat in 2014, that was immediately accepted and recognized by the democracy. The democracy recognized the coup. There were arms, people died. It was not a democratic way of taking power, and they didn't take it from a tyrant. Viktor Yanukovych was the elected president of Ukraine. The same, the government was to the democratic process. So you got some thugs taking over with the help of outside forces, and then immediately they are recognized as the legitimate government for a while, because they're going to conduct elections until they bring the election machines. And then, I'm just kidding, no. And then they said, we recognize you. How in the hell you recognize them? You recognize the coup d'etat? Now imagine if this would happen in the United States of America, or some will try to do it, do it. I'm not talking about January 6th. It was nothing. Do you think this guy is going to say, well, the will of the people? No. They will, I tell you, they will bomb the shit out of all those guys. They're not going to be like, they're going to shoot like there's no tomorrow. Remember the Boston massacre? One of the reasons why the revolution started, the American Revolution, Boston, where the guys dropped the tea into the water in the Boston Bay, and they call it massacre. Do you remember, or do you know how many people were killed? Because the redcoats, the British soldiers, shot at the people, the colonists. Five people. I'm not saying that's okay, but 5, and they call it a massacre. I mean, just to put it in perspective. All right, my friends, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. They will have no problem using whatever they want. Okay, look for the truth and be just.